Hello and welcome to August 27th. KR is at 282%. There it is, 282%. And I forgot to jump the slide also too. We moved up from a minus 11 to minus 6.8 on the stochastics, and the SPY moved from 21% yesterday to 22.1. Okay, so that is the benchmark, and we're moving on to our leading trade at 282. And that is right there. We're forming sort of a good little plateau here. Possibility that we're going to be able to, this could be what they call, this is called a rally, base rally, pull back, base, and then rally up again. And that is way. Also, too, notice that the stochastics has gone into a dip. There's a stochastic dip right here. A high, a low, and a high. Not very much in a high, but it does count. So similar, it's the same same thought process of the dips right there. High, low, high. There's your dip. That's a dip. And as I mentioned before in many of my videos in the past 2 years, that we have, we talk about this dip, and this dip is talked about all the time. Day traders are big proponents of the dip. They'll watch for this kind of action. There's a low, and then a higher low, and then they'll go in and jump in, and then they use various methods of wait for the next dip and making it to their stop, working their way up until they eventually get stopped out and collect a profit. That's how day traders work, and we apply a similar variance here on stochastic strategies. So that said, KR is running at $1,200. It's not the 15 that we had here yet, but about $1,500 here on this date back on August 20th, but this is a DTE trade, and we already moved up the stop to somewhat that we would be comfortable with, because we do want to see this go to October, and because of this, the study for DTE. Going on now is PGR, and PGR is has a retracement, as you can see right there. It's been getting into a pullback. And this marker that you saw here, this is the expiration date. That's the expiration date for October 14th. This option expires. These vertical red lines you see here in Thinkorswim is your options expiration dates, 10, 15, 21. We exit if this trade continues to expiration as we're planning. We will exit on here on the 14th at the end of the day, no matter what. We will exit here. That's what DT trading is, with the anticipation that we will be in major profit, because the market is geared 70% to the upside, and that's the anticipation there. The stochastics, as you can see here for PG, is hovering along the what we call the turnaround zone. Right there is the turnaround zone, but the RSI is staying pretty steady in the middle, which is nice support that could end up pushing this up. The histogram has gone into a little bit of a negative, but I mean, the thing is that our stop is here at the first ratio. This is a DTE trade, and we are entering a Doji zone right there. We're entering a Doji zone, and then it can be a Doji zone. Dojis, for those who are a little bit unfamiliar with, it could be either up or down. That's what Doji is. The Doji is a balance that the bulls and the bears of the day did not. Now here the bears won, but only a tiny bit, which means that there's some support down here. The possibility can hold this price up, and then what the market, what the powers that be, can push it back up again. Okay, PG, our next leader, XL at 36. Nice jump. I didn't expect that. Yesterday was somewhere in the lower teens, I think it was. Okay, so there we have a nice one. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little closer to get a nice big picture on this. So you see here, yeah, nice, and we already earned the EPS. We already have moved the stop to the EPS on this, and we have now closed above the first ratio. So I would prefer the body to be above the first ratio, to go ahead and then move to a first ratio stop, and then that's what we'll stay at for that duration, unless it clears the 10x. If it clears the 10x, then we will move the stop up to probably a 6 or 8 ratio, and to hold on to that profit as we've done with KR, but still go to imply the trading plan of date to expiration, which is December. Okay, everybody else is in negative territory. Walgreen, I'm a little bit disappointed because it's a put, and which means maybe it was going in the right direction. As you see, Yelp has moved up a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at that Yelp, because Yelp is one of the laggers, the main anchors. This is the one that has no stops. This trade technically should have been closed months ago. I mean, this is started in June. We should have stopped out somewhere in early July, but we made no stops because this is an ODTE, which means original rules date to expiration trade. But you see, it's plateauing, but the close is trying to push above that high on this doji, which then will move it into the right direction, and hopefully get into positive territory before expiration of November to turn this trade into at least a slight profit and not take us down. But it is affecting the account. We are behind the 8 ball on the SPY, as you saw in the title slide, and the same thing applies for AT&T, which is really skipping the bottom. But there's not much to do because this is what the live this is live real money testing and trading, and this is a small account. This is my small account. That's why you see it here. You don't see my big account. That's for the inner circle. And then Telray is going to have its own video. So with that said, and we don't have anything to scan because all the money is deployed. So that is really a very nice quick report for KR 282 at 282 ahead, and Stochastic minus 6.8, 22 point on the SPY. And thank you very much for stopping by and checking it out.